Now at 8 o'clock here on Fox 61, a developing story out of Meriden. A double shooting overnight has left 2 people injured and the shooter is still on the loose.
And right now, the Department of Motor Vehicles is telling you to stay home today with computer glitches causing major headaches and delays. Full coverage ahead for you.
New York, you did something wonderful tonight for America.
Thank you, New York. We love New York. We love New York.
You proved once again there's no place like home.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump celebrating big wins in their home state this morning.
Victory for each of them in one of the bigger states in the race to the White House.
And now all eyes turn to Connecticut as we and other eastern states will be voting next. Thank you so much for joining us here on Good Day Connecticut. I'm Amanda Rouse.
And I'm Erica Arias. We have full decision 2016 coverage for you. And right now at 8, Tim Lammers has a brand new poll this morning giving us a preview of how Connecticut is going to vote in just 6 days. Tim?
Yes, good morning. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump may be celebrating another big win here in Connecticut a week from today. That's if a new poll that's out from Quinnipiac University this morning holds true. The frontrunners both have sizable leads here in our state. Let's start off with the Democrats. Hillary Clinton has a 9% lead over her rival Bernie Sanders, with likely Democratic voters in Connecticut. That's 51% to 42%. As for Republicans, Trump has a 20 percentage point lead over his nearest rival. That's according to a poll of likely Republican voters in Connecticut. Trump at 48%. John Kasich is at 28%, and Ted Cruz lagging in third at 19%. So now let's get to the latest of the results from yesterday in New York State. Its primaries, Trump and Clinton had major delegate wins there. So let's give you the overall delegate update here. Starting off with the Republicans. Trump, as we said, more or less swept all the delegates there in New York. So he is currently at 845, Ted Cruz at 559, and John Kasich with 147. Now, during Trump's rally last night, he talked about what the U.S. would look like with him as president.
We're going to be very proud of this country very soon. We're going to build our military bigger, better, stronger than ever before. Nobody is going to mess with us. That I can tell you. We're going to take care of our vets. Our vets are great people, and we have forgotten our vets.
As for John Kasich's camp, on the other hand, it's just fast-forwarding to July, focusing on the only way he can win the nomination through a contested convention.
It's all about accumulating delegates going into the convention, because now everybody has figured out that we're actually going to go to a competitive convention, an open convention.
Ted Cruz also is looking towards the future as well, but a much nearer future. Next week's primaries. He spoke yesterday in Philadelphia about the view that he has for America's future.
I'm so excited to share with you what America has learned over the past few months. And it has nothing to do with a politician winning his home state tonight. It has everything to do with what we've seen in the towns and faces that have been weathered with trouble, joblessness, and fear.
Okay, now let's get you an update on the Democratic delegate count. Hillary Clinton got about 55%, 56% of New York's delegates last night, easily more than enough to start salting this one away. You can see she has 1,424 pledged delegates, Bernie Sanders behind with 1,149. Now, after her win yesterday, Clinton took some time to thank New York's voters.
I want to thank everyone who came out and voted, and to all of you across New York who've known me and worked with me for so long. It is humbling. It's humbling that you'd trust me with the awesome responsibilities that await our next president.
And although he lost, Bernie Sanders gave Clinton a call to congratulate her last night, but he says he's already looking forward to next week's primaries.
Today we took Secretary Clinton on in her own state of New York, and we lost. I congratulate Secretary Clinton on her victory. Next week we will be competing in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, and Delaware, and we look forward to winning a number of those states.
Well, you heard him there. There's 5 states voting all next Tuesday, 6 days from now, including us here in Connecticut. So we should have a much clearer picture of how things are going to turn out then, albeit not a definitive one. Amanda and Erica?
8:05, and we're going to check on your weather right now as we take a live look out there, checking out our capital city. It's going to be another gorgeous day.
Yes, it will. And meteorologist Joe Fury joins us now. And Joe, what can folks expect as they really walk out the door and are able to enjoy this, I guess?
Well, yeah, we're talking about just picture perfect, guys. Gorgeous, sunshine, blue sky, great visibility. Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, we're going to have, well, temperatures today that get right back to where they were yesterday. The breeze picks up a little bit. And do be careful out and about, hiking or whatever. You've got a red flag fire warning in effect today. That happens every year at this time when we haven't had much rain of late. You know, we're upwards of 2.5 inches below liquid equivalent since the 1st of March. So hoping for some rain the end of the week. Let's take a look at, just a gorgeous view this morning. That's from top of Mohawk Mountain looking on out. So we're talking about, the sunshine and blue sky and 51 now, Hartford, Meriden, New Haven, Groton. So temperatures are on the rise. And there's not a cloud in the sky. There are some clouds out to the east, but that's about it. So highs today up around 65, sunny, a little bit breezy, pleasant. With the sun down 7:38, that moon will be coming up, the full pink moon that'll be in place as we go through tonight. It actually may not be full till tomorrow night, but it's full enough and beautiful. And today, with the north wind, shoreline, you guys got up there at 68 for the high yesterday, so we should be right back there in mid-upper 60s at the coast today as well. And then, tonight, 30s and 40s show up again. And tomorrow, it's getting even warmer. We'll talk about that, some rain, and the weekend, all in that Fox 61 7-day forecast coming up in a little while. All right, 8:07. Let's check the roads on a Wednesday morning. Rach, any big problems?
All right, yeah, we do have a crash in Hartford. Let's go outside. We kind of have the 1-2 punch here. First off, the westbound side of 84 dealing with the traffic light that's not really working properly at the bottom of the 47 ramp. We have this camera shaking around a bit, Bo, so we'll stay on this just briefly. But this is the westbound side of 84. The crash was being moved from the right lane over to the off ramp there. And that's at exit 48. So we are pretty heavy as you're coming in across the Bulkley Bridge. So we kind of have those two issues there that are causing delays. And then we've got a pretty solid backup on the southbound side of I-91 that starts up by 37, takes you all the way into downtown Hartford. Northbound side has just a normal volume coming in from Wethersfield as you approach the downtown area. The southbound side of I-95 is jammed up out of Bridgeport to Fairfield by 13. We had a crash in Stamford at exit 6. That's gone. So any delay that was behind that will hopefully start to push forward. And here are a look at your drive times where it's very heavy along 84. In fact, both sides of the highway seeing delays right in the area of exit 23. We've even got a backup on the southbound side of Route 8 just between the Seymour and Shelton exits. That's the Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals traffic report. Amanda, over to you.
Thanks, Rach. We have some new information at 8 about a drive-by shooting in Meriden overnight. It happened just after midnight at the corner of West Main Street and Randolph Avenue. Police say 2 men were shot multiple times while sitting in a car. The victims are 23 and 27 years old. One has been released from the hospital. The other is still being treated. There's no word just yet on what kind of car the suspects were in or exactly who was inside.
Well, right now, computer software issues continue to plague the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, the latest hiccup is causing longer wait times at all department branches across the state. So if you're thinking about heading to the DMV today, you may want to reschedule.
Yeah, or maybe head to the AAA. Fox 61's Maggie Sliss is live in Wethersfield now with the very latest on the ongoing problem. Maggie, what's going on?
Hey ladies, good morning. Well, the DMV is urging customers to put the visit on hold at least until tomorrow if you want to avoid waiting in longer lines. And all this as they work to resolve these computer issues that have affected branches statewide. Now, if this warning sounds a little bit too familiar to you, well, this certainly is not the first time that the DMV has dealt with IT problems that have affected customers. In fact, since the department installed new software last August by the company 3M, it's been blamed for longer wait times, accidental suspensions, and missed payments. Now, the exact cause of this current issue is still undetermined, however. Now, trouble started yesterday, and the outages were resolved enough to allow business to continue in the afternoon, but the backup remained. And some customers say, hey, it's time for the DMV to make some changes, especially when it comes to 3M.
We shouldn't be waiting, and if there's a problem with a corporation or a company, then they need to cut ties and move on to someone else that can handle the job, because apparently the job's not being fixed.
And that does sound like it will be the plan going forward, because department heads announced just last week that they will eventually cut ties with 3M.
We're operating under the contract right now with 3M that is continuing to fix the bugs in the registration system. But phase 3 of that contract, which would involve the licensing side of the aisle, so to speak, both parties, both 3M and DMV, have mutually agreed to not do that together.
Now, in addition to the issues at the branches, online registration-related web services were also down last night, and at last check, they are still not available. But the DMV is assuring customers worried about deadlines that they will work with you on that, and that the validity of credentials will be extended until midnight on Thursday. Now, we're back out here live. If you take a look behind me, the line that we saw a bit earlier before this location opened up at 7:45 is gone, and we did speak to the Director of Communications for the DMV, and he says on days where it's a little bit chillier, a little bit windier like it is today, they do like to let the folks inside before offices even open, just to get them out of the colder weather, and that's what they did this morning. He also says that he really doesn't have any additional information or updates so far, and that the actual cause of these outages is still unknown, but that their IT staff is working hard to try to sort this out and to hopefully get business back to normal. They're also saying, according to the DMV website, that if you are worried about perhaps renewing your state license or your ID card, to head to any AAA location in the state. They should be able to take care of that for you. We are reporting live in Wethersfield this morning. That is the very latest. Back to you.
All right, Maggie, thanks for that update. Well, we still have much more ahead for you here on Good Day Connecticut. We're going to have an update for you on the earthquake in Ecuador, as that country is feeling aftershocks this morning.
Plus, we're following up on a story that we first brought you yesterday, why a Utah theater is firing back after it got in trouble for showing the movie Deadpool.
You are watching Good Day Connecticut here on Fox 61. It's 8:12. We'll be right back. Keep it here.